It is we who should thank you. The records stored here are nothing short of extraordinary. There is much we could learn of Zodiac and his imprisonment, but perhaps you could offer us more focused guidance. Pray, tell us of the calamity that came before and comes now again. Were the ancients ever able to deduce its source? Celestial currents. I cannot say I am familiar with the concept.
And so they sought a means to harness the forces of darkness, of activity and growth. Thus was Zodiac conceived. No less a power than a god's could set right the laws of nature and quicken the flow of ether within the star.
Talking this whole time, not going through the street. Sweet. Well, recorded, and you never know when people are going to
Emmett
listen.
Selk claimed that those who summoned Hydaelyn did so because they saw Zodiac's power as a threat. Is that true?
Indeed, there was a fraction opposed to Zodiac's creation, but their aim was never to unmake him. Instead, the continued preservation of the nature order was dependent on its very existence, until we could hardly identify and address the undying cause of the final days. He would need remained, for his departure. Well, that finished quickly. Hydaelyn recognized this as well, and so, rather than destroy, she sundered Zodiac herself and the star into lesser reflections, that she might confine him in this place. Perhaps she did, but as with all beings, intent is not always in accord with spoken word. Hydaelyn and Zodiac, both constructs of man, approximations of perfections limited by our own imperfections. Zodiac was, without question, the more powerful of the two, having been born from the sacrifice of half Aetherised populations. Aetheris's populations. Thus was it necessary for Hydaelyn to commit herself wholly to his defeat. Still more effort was needed to confine her. Maintaining the brand's tax grew greatly. With what power she dared spare, she cried out to anyone who might listen, and offered her blessing to those who heeded her call. Though it was likely within her power to do so, I believe she did not wish to speak to Aetherius in her history. Like Zodiac, Hydaelyn's purpose is a reflection of her creators. They wish to look to the future and not linger in the prison of the past.
The Ascians set in motion 7 rejoinings before we came to oppose them. How many more worlds would have been lost had we not placed our faith in her? How many more souls living in the present would have been snuffed out for the sake of those long dead?
Well, in light of recent events, I see no reason to doubt your words. And even if Hydaelyn is not a god in truth, if Minfilia believed that we should trust in her plans, then I choose to do just that. Which brings me to a rather important question. Let's suppose we try but fail to stop this second coming of the final days. Should the source fall, what will become of the other worlds?
The nomenclature is more fitting than you know. Bring ruin to the source, and its reflections will share in its fate. is ready. This way, if you would be so kind. Beautiful sight, is it not?
Yes, but what is it?
Hyland knew better than any that her power was not absolute. Indeed, she has ever struggled to hold Zodiac and his faithful at bay. She feared the worst and so made preparations. In the event of his demise, there would be a contingency. The moon is more than a prison. It is a vessel capable of bearing the people of Aetherius to safe harbor. You need not go far to find its pilots. In fact, I should be happy to take you to them. And fulfill my final duty as Watcher in the Dark. The time is come for you to be on your way. The crater at the heart of the Mare Laboratorium, where Zarek was imprisoned, is not so easily traversed, however. Let us call Argos, the familiar whom you met earlier. You should have no trouble bearing you across. As Hyland created me as the Gaoler, so too did she create Argos as the guard. It is nature to appear when needed, and yet he is nowhere to be found. Strange. Mayhap the imbalance of either has affected him. Let us make for the crashing brand, and tend to call upon there. You need but recall the path you walked with Argos before, and you will find your way. If he labors and serves Hyland's plan, I see no reason not to do so as he suggests. Shall we make for the crushing brand then? Huh? No. Just riding my chochobo. The place we seek is just ahead at the Clarfsgard. You see, Argos cannot map best without sufficient containments of ambient ether. You would be hard-pressed to find greater complex than inside this cavern. Follow me. Yes, here will do nicely. The lunar sporgari draw ether from the ground, which is then dispersed in the air. At present, however, the ambient energies are not quite sufficient for Argos to manifest. Might you be willing to spare some of your own to help this spunky along? Argos manifests in a flash. He seems glad to see you again. The most fascinating creation of Highland's world. Would you not agree? Should the need arise, he is even able to create reflections of himself on a whim. Though I assure you, it is no reflection which accompanied you earlier to the brand. No, Argos was quite eager to be at your side then, as he is now, it seems. I cannot recall when last he showed such an affinity for anyone. Indeed, I thought him more likely to shy away from you and your companions. This is more than a sense of duty that compelled him to aid you before. As for your companions, unexpected but greatly appreciated. I believe we are all ready. Now let's return outside that you may cross the chasm. Your destination is the structure there across the cradle of darkness. But climb into Argo's back and he will take care of the rest. Once you arrive, it should not take long to find the ship's crew. The facility is designed to rouse them from their slumber in the defendant of Zodiarc's destruction. Heed their Together you might guide the star and people to a kinder fate. This is where we part ways, but know that I shall be watching and praying for your success. Our allies' assurance now stands. We cannot be certain what awaits us on the other side. Perhaps it'd be best if we did not all go at once. Suppose the two of us cross first, while Stinker and Erringer wait here. I'm hungry already. Yep. Hmm? The church is enormous, though that is hardly surprising given the size of the average Amor training. Apologies for the wait. Right then, let's head inside and... oh? This drain, a means by which he converts energy perhaps. I certainly want him to blink out of existence on our account, helpful as he's been. If Argus is to remain without, let us not keep him waiting over long. Might go see if I can find something to eat. Okay.
Our moonship pilot should be around here somewhere. Is that right?
Look lively, everyone! I know, this 1243rd inspection is a mite ahead of schedule, but it is of the utmost importance, for Zodiac, alas, is no more. As of now, our mighty moon has a new purpose, to bear the people of Etheris to safety! Our time has come, my friends! We must be swifter than swift. There is much to do before our guests arrive. I expect your workstations to be immaculate, and don't forget to relay our signal to Etheris. Questions? Yes? No? Maybe so? No? Then hop to it!
"'Tis a rather curious crew she hath chosen. Their endearing forms intended to ease the passengers' hearts, perhaps."
Perhaps.
It must be the Looper turns mentioned in the Watcher's records. Not all what I expected, but the Watcher did bid us heed their counsel. I assumed the one who gave the rousing speech was their leader, though we may have to ask about in order to track them down. Come on then, let us be about it. The leader of the group? Not me, I'm afraid. Singway's the name. I'm in charge of the construction and maintenance of the air circulation system, owing the crispest, cleanest air for the people of Aetherius. And that's a promise. Leader? No. Sleeping away. My job is... perhaps I better ask. I don't know, but it's pretty impressive. What? How in the... When did you get here? Who let you in? Why wasn't I told? Me? Oh yes, of course. As the only one around here is capable of doing anything properly, it falls to me to take charge of the others. Well, well, looks like you beat us here. Your friends, I take it? Is this all of them? Group comprised entirely of children. What must their parents be thinking? This isn't a nursery after all, though perhaps we should build one. Or did we build one already? It's a different guy now. No matter, you needn't worry your pretty little heads. All will be well, I promise. But goodness me, we shouldn't be standing about gawping. I must take you to meet the others. You could run along towards the entrance. You'll find the path that leads to the central platform on the upper floor. There's no wrong way to reach it, but it's the large glowing ball at the center if you should find yourself lost. I shall gather the others and meet you there. Well then, back to the upper floor it is.
introductions are in order. Ahem. My name is Livingway, and we are the Loporrits, created for the express purpose of commanding this ship and bearing the people of Etheris to a brave new world. More specifically, I am the one whom she charged with the execution of her most vital plans. You might say I'm her right paw. Livingway's the name. Map reader and navigator of the heavens.
Pleasure to meet you all, but I'm still trying to make sense of this.
Confusion and bewilderment are completely understandable. Fear not, I shall walk you through it. The people of Etheris, through no fault of your own, I'm sure, set in motion a series of events that, unfortunately, culminated in Zodiac's obliteration. Acutely aware of the imminent crisis, your parents sent you little ones on ahead while they began the necessary preparations. Still not following? No? Very well, I shall elaborate further. Here, we have Etheris, your home, and the moon, where we are now. Without Zodiac around to keep things lively, so to speak, the celestial currents of the star have doubtless begun to degrade. A calamity of apocalyptic proportions will be visited upon Etheris, bringing an end to all life. Very sad, that.
So too hath the Watcher claimed. By thine unperturbed countenance, I gather this eventuality was anticipated.
The doom and gloom. Oh yes, quite expected. Imagine, if you will, that Etheris is a delicious carrot that I've forgotten to eat and left out in the midday sun. The most earnest wishes or prayers will not stop it from rotting to the core. So sadly, there's nothing to be done but to abandon said carrot, Etheris, in case the metaphor is lost on you, to its grisly fate.
And this moon will serve as the vessel to deliver us to a new home.
Just so! We will gather up as many people, supplies, and resources as our stores will hold. And then, once everyone is aboard, it's off to another star. Easier said than done, admittedly, for one does not simply hop from star to star on a whim. Which is precisely why we've spent countless years constructing the most propulsive of propulsion systems. We ought to make it to our destination in 2 shakes of a rabbit's tail.
Impressive technology. I dare say it is beyond anything we have ever seen.
No need to shower us with praise. All we've done is faithfully carry out the instructions left to us by Hydaelyn. Back in the old days, when she was still just Venar, she was dedicated to the study of the world and its inner workings. And the Watcher, the real one, not the simulacrum you met, was one of her fellow researchers. We and this wondrous vessel masquerading as a moon are products of their knowledge and know-how.
There's certainly more to you all than meets the eye. Might I ask where exactly you intend to take us?
We identified a few promising candidates for resettlement some time ago, but we cannot guarantee that they are fit for habitation. Moreover, the ship can only travel in short bursts. We intend to go down our list, hopping from star to star, until we find one suitable for resettlement. need to worry, though. The vessel is being refurbished with accommodation for an extended stay as we speak. While we did have to rely upon outside help to determine what amenities were essential, I dare say we have risen to the challenge.
Help? From who?
From you and yours! Who else? Each time we woke to perform regularly scheduled maintenance, we were greeted by the resources you sent us. What better way to learn about preferences and proclivities of our present-day charges? Ah, but you're still adorable little children. Perhaps your elders were responsible for the deliveries.
I'm not sure what led you to conclude otherwise, but I can assure you that we are all grown men and women. And I very much doubt my elders know this place exists, much less how to send you so much as a starlight missive.
What? Then who in blazes let you on my moon? Heidelin herself led you here. You don't say! Well, that's really not children. Then why are you so small and stunted? Like little baby carrot people.
Well, Amarotines were a great deal taller. In the present day, persons of such prodigious size are exceedingly rare.
So, you're saying everyone's not like the Watcher? Oh, confound it all! Someone could have at least scribbled a note about your profound miniaturization.
That tome in thy possession.
Oh, this? One of the first books sent to us. A compendium of the people of Aetheris, with a few blank pages at the back for minor corrections and updates as needed. The sum total of our knowledge of your kind is contained in these pages. I thought it was abridged and made small for our benefit, but this isn't a regular-sized book, is it? Building way, can you hear me? Yes, we're all very busy. Change of plans. I need you to rebuild the domiciles at 1/3 the scale. All of them. Yes, all of them, and but me no buts. See to it with all speed.
Perhaps you could tell us a bit more about your terrestrial collaborators.
Yes, in due time. But first, I'd like to hear more about you, if it's all the same. I'd rather not risk any other complications due to outdated knowledge of our passengers-to-be.
Right then, now that you're here, we need to teach us all you can about your people, and quickly. It won't be long before the final days are upon us, in all their terrible grandeur. It is imperative that we be prepared to receive our passengers-to-be. If there's anything at all that may displease them, it must be addressed post-haste, and address we shall. Here at Bestway's Burrow, we have assembled everything required to offer our guests the best way forward. We have produced admired amenities we understand to be essential to day-to-day living, and I wish to hear your opinions on them. I'm sure you've worked up an appetite, so why don't we start with food stuff? Meet me at the curatorium and we'll see about filling your bellies. There's not one for enthusiasm. The notion of Ithra is rotting to its core. Being a matter of course is rather concerning, though. Nevertheless, let us take this opportunity to learn more about the Praetorians and this vessel. Welcome to the curatorium. Here we create prototypes of the various sundries required by our soon-to-be passengers. Allow me to introduce the head of foodstuff production. Cook and Wei, pleasure to meet you all. Our work has involved no small amount of trial and error. After many cycles of painstaking labor, I dare say we have created the finest cuisine our guests could ask for. I've learned all about the essential nutrients for a healthy and balanced diet from the reference materials we received, while I practically warned the words from those invaluable pages. Naturally, we have also considered ease of growth and production. We will not want for ingredients. I must insist you try some. We have fresh stock recently prepared on account of, well, because we were just woke up, and we're all quite furnished. Hop along the platforms here and you'll find a storage unit full to the bursting with delicate delights. Help yourself to anything you like. Hello, Lord No Face. How you doing today? Apparently it is up there. why not? So did any of our selections set your mouth to watering? No. Oh yes, a fine choice. One of my personal favorites, actually. Please dig in. I'm here to hear what you think. What do you think? Unlike anything you've ever tasted, yes? The philosopher's carrot improves mental fortitude. Something of a shock at first bite, but is well worth the enhanced powers of cognition. We have plenty of other valuable varieties too. Bleeding carrots to improve blood flow, green carrots to help you sleep. So you see, we have carrot for every occasion. But what if I don't like carrots? You don't like carrots? Oh. You must mean you don't like them served in this fashion. Worry not, we have pureed versions on hand if you haven't had the time to chew. God, that's not any better. I take it you two had a wise assortment of carrots to choose from and not else. If I may ask, what exactly did these collaborators share with you about cuisine on Ithris? Are you aware we have abundance of dishes and foods you could emulate? Of course we are, but well, it's only quite recently that we established contact. Even holding conversation was a struggle at first, so imagine our surprise when they sent a mountain of books and documents with no clear instructions. The sheer amount of information was overwhelming. If it wasn't for an encyclopedia I found, we would have been at a loss where to begin. And so we decided, rather than invite our researchers to prepare a variety of mining, potentially unsatisfying meals, it'd be more efficient to devote our efforts to the production of a single, perfect food. That's all well and good, but man cannot live on raw carrots alone. Have you considered cooking them? You mean steaming, boiling, roasting, and the like? I suppose we could prepare the carrots in other ways, but our primary concern was efficiency, and what's more efficient than sinking your teeth into a carrot fresh from production? A rather strange approach to take for one named Cooking Way, isn't it? Well, technically speaking, Cooking Way isn't my given name. When first created, we were all in the old tongue, you know, that otherwise impenetrable parlance the Watcher speaks. After we received a great team of words, a dictionary, that is, from our collaborators, we learned your language. Adverbs, gerunds, present, continuous verb, conjugations, just the basics. Then we found the terms related to our given task. I used them to form new names. Aren't they helpful? No, not really, but it does explain a great deal. Wherefore does thy king deem such a change necessary? When the rest of your people arrive, I want to be certain they understand immediately, which each of us does. You'd never be able to pronounce our original names anyways. I see. hope our critiques are such as they are were helpful to you. Though if you should decide to preserve flora and fauna from Aetheris as well, you would be able to offer the passengers a more balanced diet. Until such a day, one I pray comes sooner than later. It would appear there is naught but carrots on the menu. Typical rabbits always think about carrots. I guess they're not always thinking about carrots. There's one other thing they always think about. I think we've had our fill of carrots for now. Let us move to the other necessities, shall we? Our clothing production is sure to impress. This way. Yeah. Itchy. Here we are, the Imperial Production Station. We've chosen to employ more traditional methods for this task, creation magics. Hydaelyn, in her infinite wisdom, blessed us with the self-same affinity for magic for people possessed. We have other amazing talents, of course, and I know you're dying to hear about them, but I will regale you with the details another time. That said, we did run into a spot of trouble at first, and magic alone was not sufficient to see our work done. In the end, we discovered crystallized ether was a wonderful catalyst that could provide us with the extra viz we needed. My, how resourceful. All the sweet sound of recognition. You'll also be impressed to hear we've read all about your habit of changing attire to match your chosen profession. For the sake of efficiency, I presume, this has also been taken into account with our designs. But why take my word for it when you can simply try on our clothes? Make yourselves known to the workers, and they will see to the rest. Huh? It's you, one of the visitors from Aetheris. Goodness me, mapping away wasn't kidding. You really are smaller than the Watcher. Oh right, you're here to try on a set of clothes, yes? What would you have me fashion for you today? Simple and functional. Right. And this won't take a moment. we are, all finished. Perfect fit, if I do say so myself. Nothing too blowy or frilly, as you can see, also light and durable, sure to serve you well wherever your travels might take you. Would you look at that? Speechless. And there I thought you may not like it. If you have a mind to try something else, why not speak with my fellow artisans? I'm sure they'd be happy to oblige. Feels like I'm wearing a bag. Great. My note will look splendid. The result of much trial and error, but another quality of work when I see it. Shh, you need to speak. I can see in your adoration for the moon and we lovers in your eyes. No doubt your friends feel the same, having sampled our creations. Sorry to kept you waiting. They insist we would sample all their concepts ere we returned. Vastly, this ensemble most becoming. I think it's past time to return these clothes. Once confronted, our garments would meet your approval. Whatever are we doing wrong? The Watcher taught us that in his time everyone wore the same robes. To do otherwise was against social etiquette. We thought we could appeal by modern tastes by tailoring the robes to specific professions, but Please, you mustn't be so hard on yourself. Should we resort to evacuating the people at Aetheryte? They'll most certainly have need of your attire. It is clear you spared no effort in addressing our needs, but you must understand that we are not quite so generous. Speaking for myself, what I wear now better suits my taste, even if it is of inferior make. There are others whose choices may be influenced by traditions or personal experience. Rather than making assumptions for the whole, we must consider the individual and their potential preferences. I fear we underestimate the complexity and diversity of your people. Even if we've memorized every tune we received, I doubt we'd have fared much better. Maybe you're doing so. Your disservice trying to shower you with our babbles improperly, thinking it was for your benefit when you'd be better off on your own. There are some who might agree. People who prefer to keep others at arm's length, even when they know they shouldn't. As one such former fool, I'd like to ask you a question. The plan to evacuate and escape the final days, did it account for the reflections of the source as well? Not that I'm aware of. You were born of Hydaelyn's love for Aetheris and the salvation of the people on that star. And that star alone has ever been our aim. Surely it'd be better to devote ourselves to saving one world than divide our efforts across 14 and risk failing them all. I suppose you're right. Anyway, might we have a leave to explore our best ways burrow unattended? Yet again, it's much to think about. Why, certainly. Until later, then. If I may, I should like to accompany thee a while longer. Really? I mean, you're more than welcome to. There was actually something I wish to speak with you about. Let's be off then, shall we? My apologies. I wasn't trying to spy or anything. Everyone's been talking about the visitors' conference at Aetheris, and I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. I decided at first, but now I'm worried. Will the people of Aetheris refuse to come? Well, we can't save them. It's clear we've made a mess of things. Oh, but wait, you still haven't visited the domiciles. Once you see them, you'll understand how wonderful the moon truly is, I'm sure of it. I'll be waiting for you by the teleporter near the entrance. Oh, and the name's Glowing Way, by the way. See you soon. here. Thank you so much. Or sorry, what should I call you? Logan, eh? Crikey, even your names are amazing. Well, Logan, we'll be using this teleporter to enter the residential area. Whenever you're ready.
Ready in the teleporter. Huh? Access to living quarters restricted due to reconstruction. Then where is it? Oh no!
A private audience, as thou didst request, for reasons I know not.
Just a precaution. I'd rather I didn't have to ask the question at all, but I take my responsibilities very, very seriously. Do you and your friends, by any chance, find our accommodation wanting? Be honest, brutally even.
'Twould be ungracious of me to belittle the efforts of thee and thine.
Lovely sentiment, really. But the disappointment is writ plain on your comrades' faces. It's all the more frustrating since no one will come out and say what they find wanting. If there are faults in our work, we need to know. We can, we will do better. But time is not on our side. The final days will wait for no one. If your people are to be saved, we must take quick and decisive action. This vessel must serve as a home for as many passengers as possible, for far longer than we may like. Which brings me to my request. Our collaborators on Atheris are doing what they can to prepare for the voyage. Would you be willing to go and lend them a hand? Having seen the moon for yourself, you could speak to its many splendors, learn what else they might require, and assuage whatever concerns they have.
Wherefore wouldst thou entrust me with such a task?
How to put it? You're the only one who appears not to be wholly unsatisfied with our work. Or quite good at pretending that's the case, at least. Calm, collected, tactful to a fault. Very particular with your words, too. You understand that, in the face of great danger, one cannot pursue perfection at the expense of practicality. The difficult choices must often be made for the greater good.
And so fate doth conspire to set my feet upon this path once more.
Come again?
Idle musings. 'Tis no trifle thou dost ask, yet full well do I understand the urgency and necessity.
Oh, dear me! Dear me! I was terribly sorry for the mix-up. It's a bit of a malfunction. I hadn't realized the residential quarters were inaccessible, you see. But you're still in one piece. So, all's well that ends well, yes? Won't happen again. I promise.
Gosh, that's embarrassing. I promise to be more careful from now on. Since the residential quarters are closed for now, I rerouted the teleporter to allow travel between the floors instead. Hopefully it proves useful in the meantime. It's a shame you couldn't see it though. You really would have liked it. It may not seem like it, but we've been playing for this far longer than I care to admit. Each time we woke up, we had long discussions about how to save as many as we can. I feel like everyone had an opinion on this or that. But the one thing we all agreed upon was that people at Theris won't take action to save themselves until it was far too late. That's why we're striving to make the moon vibrant, magical place they'd hop at a chance to visit, rather than waiting for the flames of oblivion to get them off their tails and force them to accept our invitation. The residential quarters may not be up to necessary standards just yet, but there are plenty of other places worth seeing. You've already had a look around the Criterium, but wait until you see what's waiting for you at the east end of the borough. Follow me. Good, you're here. This story is the greatest in Svale. It was named as such because it's vital to end Altate Vales, the most beautiful forest you'll ever see. We understand the people at Aetheris enjoy taking leisurely walks through natural spaces in the lake, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it. How about we start with a nice stroll to the fountain this way? Hi, Shadow. Yep. Huh? What do you think of the forest? Isn't it positively pleasant, simply sublime? Here we are. Our forest is made of crystals and constructs, dotting the landscape as far as the eye can see. Building this place was a challenge, let me tell you. Since we were born here, we've never seen trees in person before, let alone a forest. The information sent by collaborators was quite enlightening, but after much deliberation, we decided to use crystalline constructs in place of living trees. Thanks to our atmospheric circulation system, this place produces air as clean as you'd find in the forest on Ithris. The fountain here behind us, powered by the rather large crystal adorning its top, plays a vital role in supplying us with fresh water. Much time and effort was spent making it the most spherical of spheres, and I dare say the unparalleled roundness speaks for itself. I enjoy nothing more than a nice long stretch and a spot of relaxation whenever I come up here. Like you used to stretch for yourself. As fear, I feel more relaxed simply watching you. A sight worth the many years spent building this place. If it's not too much to ask, it's always been a dream of mine to take a walk through this forest with someone from Ithris. Could we maybe? What the heck was that? Actually, I was kind of thinking the same. I feel tired. I was kind of waiting until 10. I was kind of waiting until 10. Hmm? In 10 minutes. Oh, is this about the teleport to the residential area? No, never mind that. We have more pressing matters at hand. We require a emergency meeting shortly, and your attendance is required. Really, I can imagine why you need me there, but if you insist, we won't be away long, so you are all more than welcome to continue looking about the borough. Now come along, growing way. Before we arrived, you seemed to be in the midst of a rousing conversation with your guide. Did you learn anything of import? They spent 12,000 years preparing for this. To the point of our fast approaching, I can certainly understand their restlessness, but still, it remains to be seen if the people can be persuaded to evacuate when there are no signs of the final days. What's more, the technology of this place defies imagination. I doubt there are many who would rarely come to terms with living in such surroundings. Whoever these collaborators are, unless they are possessed of the world's most charming personalities or a means of forcibly evacuating people, they'll meet with a great deal of resistance. Indeed, even when faced with annihilation, the decision to forsake all one knows cannot be made lightly. Forgive me, friends, but I must beg you your leave. There's another matter which yet begs for mine attention. Of course, we can accompany you if you like. Nay, that won't be necessary. If you will excuse me. It is clear now that difficult decisions lie ahead of us. Preparation for the evacuation of Ithris is indeed critical. But I am not yet willing to forsake our world and its reflections, and I trust I am not alone in my reticence. Did it seem strange to you? More so than usual, I mean? I know he has penchant for keeping his own console, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried. Would you go ahead and see if he's alright? You shall let him remain here and see what else we can learn about the final days. If you hurry, perhaps you can catch up to him. hate doing these sneaks.
Thine arrival is timely as ever. Thou didst chance to overhear my conversation with Livingway, I presume? 'Twas not mine intent to move in shadow. Nevertheless, I have been asked to do that and more yet again. Is it so plain that these strangers could intuit it at a glance? My capacity for silence and secrecy and duplicity? And Grahatir did contrive to deliver the first at the price of his own life. I was complicit in the scheme. A sacrifice averted for a mercy. Would that I could say the same for Menphilia. One life for one world. And by that bloody bargain, brokered by my hand, were the scions robbed of a dear comrade, and Flamine her beloved daughter. Two souls, whose selflessness was beyond measure, whose resolve was unshakable. They would not be moved even had I thought to protest. But protest I did not. Far from it. I pushed them forward. No effort did I make to seek out alternatives, ones that would not demand such terrible costs. That resignation weigheth heavy on my mind, as does the memory of another lost to mine inaction. Dearest Moonbringer, who did face death unflinching, that we might secure a means to bring low the Ascians. In her hour of need, I did naught. Beautiful disciple of Louisoix, ever looking to the greater good. Had I shut mine eyes and bid her live instead, mayhap she would be with us today. Selfish wants, born of everlasting regrets. Most days I put them from my mind, but could think of naught else when asked to swallow the same bitter draught. Subterfuge and sacrifice. Mayhap the right moral choice, but one I regard with great trepidation. The calamity of Amarot was a tragedy beyond reckoning, one which must never again come to pass. Thus must we struggle, haunted by ghosts of those we have lost, clinging to those we pray we can yet save. But what of those we cannot? How do we make peace with the dreadful algebra of necessity? I am not alone in my discomfort, then? 'Tis surprising, though perhaps not. We Scions are wont to debate strategy at length, but are resolute and unwavering in execution. Strange. Scarcely can I remember when last we spoke alone, and so candidly. I thank thee. For all my supposed skill with words, I find it difficult to express such private thoughts. As for the Loporrit's proposition, I will take time and consider how to respond. 'Twould be to our mutual benefit if we could converse more openly with our aspiring caretakers. A concern I should be glad to address on the Scion's behalf. To dispense with all pretense and bare one's heart to another is a frightening thing indeed. But we cannot move forward ere we take that bold first step. A lesson I have learned many times before. And today.
What are they saying? Curse these ears! I've heard bugger all! No matter. We've got our plans.
In truth, my reasoning for traveling hither was to effect a plan of my own, a plan which may pave a way forward for us all. May I say, for there is no guarantee of success. This is the reason I set out alone. That failure should it come would be mine to bear alone. Yet thou standest before me with profane hand and open heart. 'Twould be reminiscent of me to refuse that amity. So I ask, without joining in my endeavor. Thank thee for accompanying me. It's a civil plan in truth. We shall not be a long way from Besto's burrow. Difficult decisions must needs be made in the coming days, but I nevertheless believe we are all of one mind and desire to save the people of Ithris. To make clear our resolve to the Flores, I would offer them a gift, thus making doubts require a more singular ingredient. bonus is Spongori. Excellent. The chances by the aggression when crossing Zodiac's Ursur's prison. While using spell taught to me by the new Mool, I believe these shall suffice for a gift I would fashion. The magic requires considerable concentration, however, might prevail upon thee to stand watch while performing the incarnation. There, 'tis done. A magic ink, every ounce of freshness as crafted by the new Mool. Rare is the occasion I will conjure my own, but is never the resulting properties admittedly possess of no preternatural properties, but its hue is one of my own choosing, which I pray the Lepers will appreciate. Logan, you're injured? Oh, thank goodness. I thought you had been eaten or had perhaps fallen into a crater. Mitchell has been looking all over for you, Logan. She says she needs to speak with you about something more urgent, dire even. It's also quite clear that she wished to speak with Logan alone, which means I'm afraid you must stay behind. You're injured. But worry not. It just so happens we need your help with an errand. Delivering a package from the Watcher's place to Bustaro Burrows. It's quite large and heavy, perhaps even too heavy for poor Lepers, and we would be so grateful if you could lend us a hand. Phew, good. I mean, yes, very good. Let us not keep you then. She says she would be waiting for you in the greatest Innsville, or somewhere thereabouts. I'm sure you'll find her soon enough. We're not looking at it. It shan't be long. Logan, we thought you would be away for far longer. Dire emergencies? I said no such thing. As you are here, I could use your assistance with one small matter. Running away, a companion Growingways apparently has much to tell us of the final days. The problem, however, is that he is determined to live up to his name, refusing to stay long enough for us to hold a conversation. Is there anywhere he's likely to stop and rest, or perhaps there's a way to slow him down? What's the rush? I was thinking we should wait here, maybe enjoy a cold mug of carrot juice and... No? Well, if it's really that important, you can just try using these balls. Moose flesh, not to be confused with the other thing. Runningway's other notable feature is an inconsistent chatter, so you have no trouble finding him in a crowd. And when you do, try lolling your balls at him. Crude, but if proves effective. He was here in the Great Endsville when last I saw him. Let's split and find him. These little rabbits are up to something. I don't like it. Don't like it one bit. They're not giving any sort of leeway. But that's smart. If this was meant to be a joke, it isn't funny. Yes, I'm running away. Do you mind explaining why you hit me in the face with your balls of mouse flesh? I'm highly knowledgeable about the final days. That must be the weirdest thing I've heard since I woke up. Who told you that joke? As I've got time to look into the final days, when there's so much to do before the great voyage. It's true that Highland did impart to us some knowledge of the event, but I know about as much as any Olympian port around here. Less probably. I don't know why anyone would think it's funny to go around telling people I'm an expert, but they better hope I don't get my paws on them. Sorry I couldn't be more help, but if there's nothing else, I've got work to do. And I'm off. These little shit rabbits are up to something. I don't like it one little bit. Being little shits and suspicious. What are you doing wrong way? What's going on here? I could find neither hide nor hair. Rough him. How did you fare? Hit him in the face! So he knows no more than the others. Care to explain yourself, growing away? Well, you see, I misremembered. Yes, that's it. I misremembered. Terribly sorry about that. Afraid I'm drawing a blank though. Try as I might, I can't remember who I was thinking of. An unrelated note. Whatever Erringer, I assume you spoke of him earlier. But did he say when he'll be returning? On his way to Watcher's place with his living way? Between going away, son, loss of memory, and our lack of leads, maybe our time would be better spent lending Erringer a hand. Erringer a hand. What? Now hold on a moment. It's all coming back to me. Yes, I remember. The information you're looking for is in the archives. Yes, that's where you'll find all sorts of useful knowledge, including the pertaining to the final days. Don't make me go waste time in the archives. Oh, what to do, what to do. I promised Living Way I would help, but... No, I promised I'd help, so that's what I'll do. The archives are on the second floor on the main plaza. The eastern wing. Follow me. Don't make me. I expect the love choirs are out something, but if there is ought to be learned on the final days, I think it's best to play along. For now, at least. No, I don't think it is. I do not think it is. Seems like a bad idea to me. More purples to do, so let's grab this. Name that way. Knocking way. Progress are right through this door, but it seems to be locked. I guess we'll have to go find whoever has the key. Growing enough. You have naught else to tell us of the final days. You need to only say so. We can ill afford to be wasting time here, as you well know. Did you yourselves not tell us we must act quickly? Yes, we did, but the moon was to be a perfect paradise for the people of Ithris. We're running out of time to make everything ready for their arrival. But we see the wonders we have to offer, but you found nothing but faults and flaws in our work. Only one of you saw our potential, so you others must be kept here. As that's the living ways game. Runs about in circles and failing that lock us away so we can't put the plan at risk. Everyone except your ranger. He understands what it is at stake, what must be done. I fear you misjudge us, Grunway. Never have we decreed the notion of using the moon as a means of escape. He cried. That said, my heart breaks at the thought of abandoning Ether Ace and her reflections to their doom. There is a way to avert the final days. I wish to find it. We all do. We may fail, our efforts would never be at the expense of your plans. But why would you take that risk? There's no room for ifs and maybes now. The people of Israel will escape here to the moon. They'll be safe, and we'll finally get to see all their happy, smiling faces. I'm sorry, but we can't let you leave. We just can't. Do what you must, but try not to hurt them. Be back in a moment. Don't do anything rash while I'm gone. You little rabbits think you're going to me. We tallied, they'll overwhelm us with sheer numbers. Shall we knock these ones out, split up, and make our way to the exit? Agreed. Let's reconvene at Argos awaits outside. Bring it, you little rabbits. Easy peasy. Good, you're here. We must hurry to the Watcher's palace and find Uringer.
And what, pray tell, do we seek at the Watcher's palace?
Oh, come off it, friend. You know full well why we're here. The time has come for you to return to Atheris and help your brethren prepare for their journey here and beyond.
Forgive me, Living Way, but I cannot in good conscience proceed with this plan.
Huh? But what about the final days? The death and the doom? Oh, we have to hurry before it's too late.
Your unflagging commitment to your duty is endearing, to say the least.
Oh, bugger!
Be at ease. They bear you no grudge, nor do I. How could we, having come to understand your purpose? For millennia, you and yours worked tirelessly towards the singular purpose of this heavenly vessel's construction. An arduous feat by any measure. 'Tis clear you have spared no effort. Why, your very names are a testament to your dedication.
Our names? I'm not sure I understand what you're getting at.
Names are an expression of the self, a declaration of one's hopes and aspirations. Your use of contemporary, uncomplicated nomenclature doth ensure clarity of purpose. There can be no doubt that your love for the people of Atheris is boundless and pure.
Yes! Yes! A most mellifluous phrasing! We Loporrits were born of Hydaelyn's love for Atheris. That shining, shimmering blue jewel, brightest star in the sky, brimming with life and possibilities. For as long as I can remember, I've toiled in anticipation of the day when this vessel might be needed. All I've ever wanted was to meet those she cherished so dearly, to serve and serve well. That goes for all of us, don't you see? So help us help them. Lead them here where we can keep them safe. If there's anything wrong with what we've built, we'll fix it. We'll make it right.
Your works want not for repair. Yet there remaineth much for you to learn of men, and your own kin besides. Singing Way, thy name bespeaketh more than the simple marriage of rhythm and rhyme. The songs of Atheris are beyond counting, and span the length and breadth of emotion. Maps are monuments to man's pioneering spirit, and his devotion to charting the furthest reaches of our star. Many have devoted their lifetimes to exploratory pursuits, to venture unto the highest mountains and the deepest oceans in search of unknown frontiers. And thou, my friend, I do not think we've met.
My name is Puddingway.
Pudding Way? Yes, indeed. A name of deep and abiding significance, I'm sure, but one perhaps better communicated through delicious deeds than tasteless words. A judicious application of fey magics at a later juncture may be appropriate. And Living Way. 'Tis no easy feat to convey the significance of thy moniker. When I was a bookish boy, a dear friend of mine was fond of peppering me with questions as I read, to my occasional annoyance. One day, I posed to her a question of mine own. What doth it mean to live? After much contemplation, she proffered this answer. The anticipation of a half-read story's conclusion. The hope today's mistake may serve as tomorrow's lesson. The wish that a new acquaintance may one day call thee friend. She believed it to be all these moments and more.
I want to understand, but...
I, too, still labor to find mine own answer. 'Twould be my pleasure to assist you and yours in embarking on a journey of self-discovery and enlightenment. For thee. Ink as blue as the waters of Aetheris. Made in haste, though I assure thee, the quality has not suffered for it. The people need not be persuaded by honeyed words. Nay, I have faith they shall do what is right in due course. Until they do, I beg your patience, friends. And with that ink, let us fill the empty pages of Living Way's compendium. An open exchange of ideas will surely afford you all a better understanding of modern man, and with it, ideas for improvements and renovations. But more importantly, it shall empower us to together find a way forward.
I hope you're right. Thank you for this lovely gift.
There you have it. I shall remain with the Loporrits to ensure that all is in order. Though we must needs prepare for every eventuality, you would all agree that the evacuation of our star is a last resort. To accept failure is to accept the demise not only of our star, but that of Reen's, of all reflections, and the souls that call them home. Which is why I have every faith that you shall fight to the last, that such drastic measures may prove unnecessary.
Should the worst come to the worst, and I pray deeply that it won't, I'll take comfort in knowing preparations were made under your watchful eye.
Aye, thou mayest be assured that if calamity cometh, not a soul will be left behind, if being the operative term.
Highflower, how come keeping it in your possession? How very like her. Guided by its light, we come to know her true intentions, intentions which remain a mystery even to us. In our time, we call it Olympus. You would do well to remember the name.
to interrupt, but I feel like I need to make amends for all the secrecy.
Think nothing of it. We haven't been the most gracious of guests. Do convey our apologies to Growingway and the others.
But of course! And when next we welcome more guests from Aetheris, we'll have learned to be much more hospitable hosts. Oh, and circling back to the matter of inappropriate secrecy, we ought to discuss our benefactors.
Agreed. The Charlayan Forum, yes?
What? How did you know?
The more I heard, the more obvious it became. The Forum's aims align closely with those of your anonymous patrons. A telling coincidence would be an understatement. Though had we not taken it upon ourselves to peruse certain restricted tones in Labyrinthos, we might still be unaware of their plans. But let us continue this discussion upon our return. I dare say we have kept Alphino and the others waiting long enough.
It was a relief to see Leeway was pleased with my gift of ink. To serve and serve well, though their knowledge may be lacking, their boundless love is a blessing without peer. It will be no easy task to prepare them for what must needs be done, but gladly do I embrace this duty, even if thou didst necessitate that we part ways for a time. Forgive me my absence, but I have utmost faith in you and our fellow scions. When I return to Aetheris, I pray I find you all in good health and good spirits. With Sleiphar's in your capable hands, we need to worry about affairs here in our absence. Knowing now that they are earthly collaborators, there is much to discuss with Alphinaud and the others. Let's return to the Tower of Babel. Our battle for the star will soon begin in earnest, and we must be prepared. I do want to... Oh, Jesus. That's way up. I didn't realize how far down we were. Gods, I can scarcely believe we went to the moon and back. But we'll have time to reflect on that later. Right now, we need to head back to Camp Broken Glass and deliver a thoroughly detailed report to Lucia. I'd like very much to know how everyone is getting on here as well. They'd only begun to treat the tempered prisoners when we left. I share your curiosity, but one of your allies of the final days is of greater importance. Speak not only to contention, of course, the head of state of every nation must know what we have learned. We know not when or where or in what manner the final days will begin to manifest, and so we must see that everyone is prepared. Agreed, though we may wish to stress the importance of discretion, lest the public be sent into a panic. Not that anyone in a position of responsibility should need to be told as much, but it bears repeating. Anyway, first things first, to Camp Broken Glass. It's good to see you all again. No worse for the lunar adventure, I hope. We've done what we can for now, and believe me, we intend to tell you all about it. But before we do, might you tell us what became of Garlemald in our absence? You see, instead of doing the tempered inside the Tower of Babel, we took many alive, but combined with those who were already in our custody, the number requiring care has grown exponentially. The inclement conditions here have made it difficult, if not impossible, to treat them all here, and so we have petitioned the aid of the allied nations. Some are understandably hesitant to prefer assistance, particularly those that were but recently subject to imperial application. That said, several others have agreed to grant them refuge for treatment. With this severe fellow silence, we endeavor to see them safely transported and subsequently cured of their tempering. Will all the tempered be relocated? No, not all. We are suffering to attend to those whose treatment has begun, and enough healers have volunteered to remain until their patients have recovered. Julius is one such patient, though he is not yet fit to receive visitors. Truth to be told, it was a miracle he and those in his company were not harmed in the chaos. If not for Alpha and Ali's timely assistance, I dare say, none would be with us today. In light of recent developments, have the Alliance leaders come to any decisions regarding Garlemald? Given the tremendous ramification of what has happened here, it will take time to determine what must be done. In the meantime, they intend to work with the Eastern Alliance to keep close watch over the provinces. We have other news to share. Shortly after Enema was defeated, we received reports of each and every tower has vanished. For mercy, the process was apparently not quite as violent as that you experienced in Tavir. Those who were trapped within them have been rescued and receiving treatment. To hasten their endeavor, the beast tribes have received instruction in magics needed to cure tempering. Master Montoya is no doubt thrilled that the Mother Proxy affords her so many visitors. Yes, we are grateful for her ongoing efforts, as well as those of our comrades near and far. After a contingent, several of our members have been granted the leave to return to their homelands after transfer to Tempered has been completed. Lucia and I remain along with a small force continuing offering aid to those here in Garlemald. The Empire may be no more, but there are yet those who call these lands home. I believe that accounts for recent events here, so of the moon and the Tefari. The final days, gods, I prayed Your victory would mark the end of our troubles. There is still much we do not know, but the Alliance leaders must be told. Would you be willing to contact them in our stead? Yes, of course, I'll send word forthwith. We'll also release your fellow Scions from their present duties, that they may return to Charlotte. Your energies are better spent finding a means to avert the coming apocalypse. Speaking of your fellow Scions, you will be happy to hear that Mistress Kryl, though still on the mend, has been moved to Baldassian Annex and given to Detaru's care. Thank you. I will look forward to seeing them both upon our return. Let's be on our way then. Well, I think if I may. After your conversation with Zodiac, he says Xenos took his leave and in all likelihood has returned here to Garlemald. I have in mind to dispatch scouts to try to ascertain his whereabouts, but first wish to ask if you believe there is a merit in doing so. I suppose you're right. Dispatch good soldiers to pursue such a beast. We send them to their deaths. Pray forget I entertain the notion. While the Soldier Xenos, the 10th Legion has made an official proclamation. They denounced the Crown Prince and condemned his role in the Empire's downfall. His very titles become a source of shame among his former subjects, and continued services only hinders relations with foreign nations. For this reason, he has been declared as Xenos Viator, Galvus, outcast, and enemy of Garlemald. Daniel is no more, and now his people turn against him. It seems he's not but bloodlust to keep him company. Rather than that, than an army to see is stated. At any rate, I will not keep you long. Pray you safe passage back to Charlotte. Alright, we're going to call it there. Remember, drop a like, subscribe, follow. Streaming on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok today. Probably be on at some point tomorrow. Until next time, though, talk to you guys later. We'll go ahead and end the TikTok stream here. And let's go and stop YouTubing.